Got that, sir?
Yep.
See, we done cursed you Edomites enough, so now
Yeah,
we're sentencing you right now. We're in a sentencing phase.
Yep.
You're being sentenced.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 to 14. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with a quick lesson, Lowell, and be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and wanted to title this From 1776 to 2026. And we're going to focus on a man named Adam Weishaupt, a.k.a. Klaus Schwab. All right, and that's my personal belief, all right, that Klaus Schwab is indeed the reincarnation of Adam Weishaupt, the man we're going to read about in just a few minutes. Now, what inspired me to do this lesson was I was watching the live street ministry by the apostles earlier this evening, and they had gone into, I believe Elder Apostle Har mentioned how basically we're at the stage of sentencing, right? We're sentencing Esau. Pretty much the judgment has been cast, and we're sentencing Esau. So at this point, we're just bringing out the judgment sentence, right? Ultimately, them being destroyed. Okay, but before that, the kingdom is going to be destroyed, and then of course they're going to be in servitude, okay, underneath the Israelites for 1,000 years, and then after that, Obadiah 1 and 18 will be executed, all right, speedily, okay, but the judgment sentence being casted now, all right, is all part of, all right, the end times, okay, that's all part of the end times, because let's get this real quick in the book of Second Ezra, all right, because we're entering into the stage where World War III hits off, right, and within World War III, our Lord Yahushua comes back and sets up his kingdom, righteous kingdom upon the face of the earth. That's what we're waiting for as a member of the hopeful elect. That's the mindset that we're in, and that's not going to take another 1,000 years. That's something that we're seeing the signs that leads to that. Okay, and the last prophecy we're waiting for is ultimately the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Okay, for those who are still questioning or who don't know, when that time comes, you will know. Okay, but let's get this. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? So what's the first? The first is this age. Okay, you have the inheritance was given to between Jacob and Esau. All right, we get the last part, which is the best part. Okay, talking about the children of Israel. All right, and Esau got the first part. Okay, him along the rest of the other nations. Okay, so they got their rulership on this side, the first part. All right, known as the common era, and now we're about to enter into the second part. Okay, that which cometh after this age, this time, the kingdom that we're living in right now. Okay, Esau's kingdom. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, but in our kingdom, the earth is not going to be given into the hands of the wicked. It's going to be given into the righteous. All right, starting with Yahushai, King David on down. Okay, so continuing back in 2 Ezra 6 and 8, it says, And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so we're in the stage of Esau being sentenced for all the wickedness, all the abominations, ultimately his desire to oppress the children of Israel, all right, which are the children of the Most High, and then perpetrate and put himself on a level where he thinks he is the Most High. All right, blatant blasphemy. Okay, but well, what do you expect from a devil, right? And speaking of expecting things from devils, all right, we are witnessing, all right, the end time prophecies that leads to the one major prophecy that I mentioned earlier, which is the MOTB, all right, the mark of the beast. And we have something known as the Fourth Industrial Revolution, all right, something that was coined by the head of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. Okay, and what is the Fourth Industrial Revolution? Is just basically a changing of how the world works from regular day-to-day activities that you do, all right, everything being switched over into a digital frame. Okay, so you're gonna have the Internet of Things and you have the Internet of Bodies. All right, now the Internet of Bodies is when your human body is being hacked, like in the words of Noah Harari. Okay, your body being hacked, meaning your brain, your hands, your body, so on and so forth, being enhanced. That's the word they use, hacked, but they call it enhancement. Okay, with technology. Okay, as it's written in the book of Daniel, all right, the knowledge shall increase. So we're in the time where technology is increasing. When you go to that word knowledge, it goes to the word science or ciencia, which means to know or knowledge, right? So that high technology that we're living in now is introducing the fulfillment of that prophecy in the book of Revelation 13, verse 16 on down, okay, which is MOTB. So the main people who are pushing for that fulfillment, all right, which they don't know it's a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, whether they do or not, that's their lot, they're going to fulfill it, is none other than the World Economic Forum, okay? And when you hear the kind of conversations they're having, it doesn't sound like something they just came up with, okay? It sounds like more of an end of a plan that's been in there for hundreds of years. Okay, and over the time, they always change the names, okay, so that people are not, alarmed by what they're doing, right? Or else there's going to be a mass resistance. So they always change their names and masquerade it into something that's good, right? When you take so-called climate change, for example, over the decades, almost every decade, they came up with a new narrative, right? Oh, there's going to be no oil, boom. Then the next year, the next 10 years, it's going to cause the ocean levels to rise, if we don't do anything about this. And the next year, it's going to pollute the air. And then the next thing is going to be, diseases are going to spawn the whole entire planet. And the next time is going to be, mass dying and the heat. And that's what they do. It's the same game, same agenda, same politics, okay, but just said in a different way. All right. And this conspiracy started back in 1776 by a man named Adam Weishaupt, and we're going to read about him right now. So, Adam Weishaupt, with deceit as their chief weapon, those who direct the Luciferian conspiracy have caused Catholics, or pretty much when you go into the word Catholic, it means universal, and most churches, the denominations of the planet Earth today, when it comes to so-called Christianity, all stems back to the Roman Catholic Church. And of course, you can include Islam as well. Okay, because the religion of Islam was also created by the Roman Catholic Church, okay, which in the book of Revelation is referred to as the false prophet, okay, the Vatican, all right? So it says, those who direct the Luciferian conspiracy have caused Catholics, or in this case, modern day pagan anti-Christians, to believe Freemasonry to be the main instrument the devil uses to destroy them and Christianity. Using exactly the same deception, Masons are taught to believe Roman Catholicism is Luciferianism in disguise, and that's exactly what it is. Okay, when you listen to some of the hymnals that they sing, there's a video, you go on YouTube and type in Roman Catholic Church, or just put Vatican sings to Lucifer, right? And that video is going to pop up, and they were literally singing, talking about, oh, Lucifer, blah, 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 blah. Like, what I'm saying? Like, they were praising him, and we know the Catholic Church is filled with a whole lot of demonic energy, from the way the buildings, the inside of the buildings are designed. They got snake looking faces and all that, right? So we know that they're not coming in the right spirit, right? They represent part of the serpent system, all right? The three-headed serpent, I call it, right? You have the serpent that stems out of the Vatican. You have a serpent that stems out of London City, and you have another serpent that stems out of DC. Okay, the three unclean spirits like frogs. Okay, So continuing, it says, by the same token, communists are taught they are the champions of democracy, while the people of the so-called remaining democratic nations are being convinced communism is the root of all evil and the main threat towards the destruction of their governments and religions. And this is all being played, all right, by the elites behind closed doors, okay, through their control through media, right, the school system, the churches, the most influential things that are in society, they own, and they use it as a means of control over the masses. Okay, deception at an all-time high. Okay, it says, thus, those who direct the Luciferian conspiracy kept the goyim, that's what they call the people, goyim, cattle, divided among themselves through politics and through gender wars and class wars and so on and so forth, right? They shift the blame for their own sins against God and their crimes against humanity and place it where they find it most convenient. In a most remarkable manner, which can only be explained by the power of the devil, they manage to deflect towards others the finger of suspicion whenever it is pointed at them, and generally speaking, they preserve the secrecy of their motives and identity. Who comes to mind when you think of that? Yes, the synagogue, they always in synagogue. The synagogue of Satan, right, SOS, directs the Luciferian conspiracy. History proves the SOS has used all internationalist movements organized since the beginning of time to further their own secret plans. The Bible tells us the idea of a one-world government was introduced to Solomon 10 centuries before Hamashiach was born, as happened in Nazism. And I believe what they're talking about in this book here, again, it's a lot of things that don't line up with the scriptures. Those we will spit out, right? So we're going to chew the meat and spit out the bones. So here, if he's talking about a one-world government, all right, that goes back to the Tower of Babel. Okay, that goes back to the Tower of Babel. Now, ultimately, during the time of King Solomon, there was peace on the earth for 40 years. All right, so in that sense, if you think of it in that sense, right, when Solomon gets back on the throne, which is Yahushai, okay, he's going to create another new world order, but this time it's going to be under righteousness when the Israelites are in rulership. All the corruption that you see on the earth will cease to exist. Okay, the wickedness and all that will be suppressed and oppressed. It'll be over with. Okay, as is written in the book of Proverbs, the 29th chapter. Let's get that real quick. All right. What kind of state the earth is going to be in once the children of Israel finally take over? Okay, this is a book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right? So the reason why the earth is not rejoicing now is because the righteous are not in authority, but the wicked are. Right? But it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay? And there's a whole lot of mourning right now. There's tons of war going on all over the place. Okay? You mean to tell me that these people who are in power right now are the children of God? The Most High's people? And so where's the Messiah at? All these questions we have, they have no answers for. Okay? Why are we living in turmoil? Why are we getting ready for World War III? Why are these presidents getting together and saying he said you're playing what did he say? What did Trump say? I forget what he said. Right? You're playing a dangerous game that's going to lead to World War III or something like that. You're risking World War III. Something to that effect, right? Why is that? Why are they talking about World War III? I thought we're already in the kingdom. God's people are in their land already. Being exposed. All right, being exposed, man. Okay, but once we are back in authority, through Yahushai, all this stuff is going to end, man. Okay, all this stuff will end. And that's going to be a new world order, a true world order, because the earth is going to be back in order, its proper order, period. Okay, it says, as happened in Nazism, all international movements are made to destroy themselves as soon as they have served the Luciferian cause. And that's the same thing you're seeing here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay, as Esau is shifting into the next age, which in his mind is going to be the digital age, he's destroying everything America ever stood for, because he doesn't need America to push those ideals anymore. They've gotten to the point where now they can pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Prior to them, you go through revolution after revolution, century after century, what they were doing was they were building the blocks to get to this point. Okay, eliminating how humanity has always done things, erasing the past as best as they can so they can control the now and the future, at least of the minds of the people who are unaware. See, so we are a thorn in their side because everything that they're doing, we're undoing, and everything they're undoing, we're doing. See, so we're in the opposite. We're going through opposite lanes, and it's like imagine that. Since 1776, you've been building, and we just come in here, and within less than 100 years, the Lord through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we done destroyed the whole entire system. As the Apostle Paul said, right, we're breaking down the strongholds. Okay, the things that held this place strong by keeping everybody weak. You see what I'm saying? The ideologies and all so on and so forth, that has been broken down by way of this truth. It's been hewn down. Okay, and the man of sin is being revealed. All right, everyone is paying attention. Everybody knows what's going on. And when you're being wicked, the last thing you want is the light to be shining on you. And that's exactly what's going on by way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua using his prophets. Okay. So continuing, it says, thus it is that the few who direct the world revolutionary movement, what you're seeing now going into the world, the World Economic Forum and so on and so forth, move peacefully nearer to establishing a totalitarian state. They make those they plot to subjugate, fight, and destroy each other, their governments and religions, because they stand as obstacles in their path. It says the protocols are the original draft of the plan by which the synagogue of Satan intend to obtain undisputed world domination. The protocols are, as the saying goes, as old as right? Weishaupt simply revised, that didn't make sense to me, but anyway, Weishaupt simply revised modernized them in order that those who comprise the synagogue of Satan may take full advantage of rapidly changing conditions and the advances being made by applied science. There you go. See, so everything is leading to this point. We are at the point of technological boom, and it's the precipice. That's why Klaus Schwab said we're at the point where the power lies in the stakeholders. He said they have the ability to construct the future, the world, how they want it to see, how they see it. That's how they want to build it. So it lines up perfectly with Revelation 13 and 16, where it says that he causeth all by way of using technology. The Lord has given them the technology to be able to cause all, so everyone could get to that point where they're going to say, if you don't take this device in you, this technological device in you, you can't buy or sell. The power of life and death has gone into their hands. The Lord gave them that. You see? But that's all an illusion at the end of the day. Because the elect, we're not going to fall for that illusion. And that's how we're going to get that deliverance. But the rest who fall for it, they're going to get that destruction per Revelation 14:9 on down. Okay? So continuing back in the reading, it says, the manner in which the discovery of atomic energy is being used to frighten the masses into accepting the idea that a one world government is the only solution to the world's many problems is typical of what I mean. Those who direct a conspiracy carefully conceal from those they use to serve their devilish purpose the fact that in the final stage of the conspiracy, they intend to usurp the powers of the first world government to be established and then impose the Luciferian ideology upon what remains of the human race. Once, and that's what what's his name said? Albert Pike. That's what he said, right? Once the world is, messed up and delusioned with Christianity and basically in a state of confusion where the words he used was they don't have any clear compass or whatever, that's when they're going to present their Luciferian ideologies, their Luciferian doctrine. Okay? And that's all about what? Satanism. It's all about worshiping self. All these different things that pushes you away from the Heavenly Father and makes you an enemy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's going to cause you to be destroyed. That's what they let people do. That's what they're going to empower people to do. Okay, as we see now, the building stages that leads to that. All right. So it says, once one worlders are enlightened in this regard, they will reject internationalism in any form, right? Because most people who are part of this plan don't even know what the end goal of the plan is. All right. But if they listen to the prophets, then they'll have an idea, but they don't. Or some of them who do, they don't take it seriously, because the Lord don't want them to take it seriously, so He can destroy them. Okay. It says, Weishaupt organized the Illuminati, all right, which means enlightened ones. Okay. Remember, we use the word Luciferian, right? When you go into that word Luciferian, okay, it says here in the online etymology dictionary, Lucifer, it says morning star, right? It says light bringing, all right, morning star, light bearer, right? Light bringer, light bearer, same thing. Okay, one who carries a light. And what light are they talking about? They're talking about that wisdom, okay, the knowledge and understanding of the left hand side. Okay, that's why Esau is able to use the art of magic, all right? And when I say magic, I say it in the sense of manipulation via media, via pharmakia, right? Via public school education, indoctrination, right? By a system that just creates this false sense of security, which is all based on deception. You got your money system, you got the military system, right? You got the food system, you got the health system. It's all a facade. It's all fake. It's all BS, right? It all leads to death. That's why this place is known as the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Everything about this place is all about promoting sin and death. Okay? But Esau has that power to do that. The Lord gave him that ability to know the left-hand side energy, to use it on the masses like the way he does. Okay? But it could also be used on the right-hand side if somebody calls me a Luciferian, right? In the worldly sense, that I'll be pissed off. But in a righteous sense, I'll be like, yeah, I carry the light. Yes, of course. I do have the light of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai on me. You know? And I believe it. You know, and I live according to that light. You know, and I see the difference between myself and those who have the same light, right? Brothers in like mind. And I see that compared to the people of the world, and I see that they don't got the light that we got here. It's two completely different things. That's why we're opposing one another. They say something, we say the other. See? We say something, they say something else. So we're opposing lights, right? But really, our light is the real light. They are light of darkness, you know? So they're going to be destroyed anyway, because when light comes in, darkness disappears. All right, when you turn on the light, what happens? So continuing, going back to what I was saying about Lucifer, is the same as Illuminati. Illuminati simply means enlightened ones or light bearer, right? So it says here, or to be illuminated, right? So it says, Weishaupt organized the Illuminati to put his revised version of the conspiracy into effect. He also established the lodges of Grand Orient Masonry to be the secret headquarters of the Illuminati. When members of the Illuminati infiltrated into other secret organizations, like Klaus Schwab said they do, right, including Continental or Blue Freemasonry, they organized their own secret society within the lodges of the secret society into which they infiltrated. That's a diabolical work, right? It says the ordinary imperfect members were and still are kept in ignorance of this fact. The most prominent Satanists or Luciferians who worked with Weishaupt were the famous German author Zwock, Baron Nigi, Baron Bassus in Sanderdorf, the Marquis Constanza, and Nikolai. In order to hide their identity and real purpose, Weishaupt and his lieutenants used code names. Weishaupt was, and before I go into that, that's exactly what they do now. Right, a lot of these people that you see today that have so-called American names, all right, in America, whether they be in Hollywood, whether they be in the banking sector, whether they be in the politicking world, whether they be in the sports world, right, whether they be in business, whatever it is that you see, and you have these so-called white people with these so-called whitish names and so on and so forth, they're all J's, okay? They're all J's, and they come in here and they change their names to make it sound more American. you know, but their actual J-ish names, you'd be like, oh shit, the hell? You know? Henry Kissinger. Like, bruh, you know? They got all these weird ass names. They got a nigga called Mike Brown, Quaz Brown. Like, dude, what? Mike Brown? Stop, bro. You know? But it's all being exposed. A lot of these names that we hear all the time, you know, they all change their names. All right? They all change their names. Okay? It's not their real names, I should say. All right? So it doesn't expose their real identities. Therefore, they're able to hide what their true intentions are. And they're all interconnected. Okay? So Weishaupt was Spartacus. Zwack was Cato. Baranigi was Philo. Bassus was Hannibal. And Marquis Constanza was Diomedes or Diomedes. And Nikolai, the greatest scoffer of all religions, which teach belief in a god than Lucifer, became Lucian. Okay. It says, cities in which Grand Orient lodges were established to be the secret revolutionary headquarters of those who directed the conspiracy also received code names. Thus, Munich became Athens, Vienna became Rome, etc. And this is their code, right? It says it was an accident or an act of God, right, which exposed these secrets. Let's get this. Let's get this. Let me see. Oh, let's see. That which shall be done in secret. Let's put that in. Done in secret. Just can't remember the. Okay. Let's see if we can find it here, because I remember Yahushua said that. Just can't remember the precept. But I'm gonna quote it, and if I could find it, I'll just read it. Basically, Yahushua said, "That which shall be done in secret, right, shall be exposed and brought to the light." Okay. The Yahushua said He's going to bring all those things to the light. So that includes the truth being suppressed for so long, as it tells you in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter. Right? Let's get that. 2nd Ezra 6:27, it says, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched." Right? For as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So, you know, the truth was for so long hidden. All right, and the Lord brought us into the truth by way of stirring up our pure minds, by way of remembrance, by way of the scriptures, the understanding, through the apostles and their elders before them. Okay, ultimately going back to a man named Rabbi Abba Bivens, all right, who we believe to be John the Baptist / Elijah coming back in the reincarnation to spark this thing. And that happened back in the 70s. Okay, so through the Spirit and power of the Lord, all right, those things that were secret, because these elites knew who we were. They knew the truth about what's going on and stuff, the Bible and all that, but they hid it. See? Same thing, but the Lord made it what? Secret. He made it open. You know, now we out here everywhere. You know? Same thing with the left-hand side. The secrecy and all that stuff that they had going on, so-called secret societies, secret organizations, the Lord is exposing all that. Pertaining to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, the man of sin being revealed. Okay? Another indication that we're in the last days. Because prior to these times, with the prophets on the scene and so on and so forth, these things were secret. So-called conspiracy theories were a secret. See? But now they're out in the open. Everybody knows about these things. All right? So it was indeed an act of God, which exposed these secrets. All right? It says, Zwack had put Weishaupt's notes into orderly manuscript form, ready for publication for the information of revolutionary leaders throughout the world. Copies of this Luciferian Bible were placed in the hands of carefully selected trustees to ensure that some would survive if government authorities seized other copies. One copy was entrusted to the care of Professor John Robinson of Edinburgh University. In 1784, another copy was sent from Frankfurt on Main in Germany to Mirabeau in Paris, France. He had been selected by Weishaupt to foment the French Revolution scheduled to break out in 1789. Very few historians seem to realize that early in the 1700s, long before Weishaupt was retained by the newly formed House of Rothschild to revise and modernize the age-old conspiracy to bring about a one-world government, so-called internationalists and infiltrated into America. There you go. There you go. Just like Klaus Schwab said, they penetrate the cabinets. See, they don't come in and just change it or go to war with you. No. They come in through lobbyists and so on and so forth, right? Policies and statutes, and then they slide right in there and they start eating away, because they have things on each and every one of these so-called politicians, which are known as magicians. Okay? They play politics on the minds of the people to aid in this agenda, the so-called New World Order agenda. Okay? It says, the works of those historians who do mention this fact have been suppressed, keeping it secret, right? But 2nd Ezra says what? As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. Okay? Deceit shall be quenched. So back then, it wasn't time for the Lord to bring all these things out, so he suppressed it. But now, how come Esau's same tricks that he was using back then to suppress things, and even on a high level of, technological advancements to suppress things, the truth is still going out? That means now is the time for it to go out, right? For this gospel shall be preached, right, throughout the whole entire earth, and then the end shall come. So there's nothing they can do. They can't suppress this truth. It's over with, because it's now the time for the Lord to say, hey, let the truth flourish. Okay, let the truth flourish. All right. It says, and ultimately, the last attempt they're going to use to suppress the truth one more time is to demonize those who speak it. Right? But that's also not going to work. It says the works of those historians who do mention this fact have been suppressed. There is documentary evidence which proves these subversives were active as early as 1746. Damn. They celebrated May 1st, 1776 as the day on which Weishaupt finished the revision of the age-old conspiracy and gave the name Illuminati to those selected to direct the conspiracy, and put his revised plans into effect. Millions upon millions of people have celebrated May Day ever since, thinking it as this anniversary of the day America and labor gained independence, because they've been deceived. The whole entire existence of America was a deception. And now we're going from a deceptive age from 1776 to 2026. Lord willing, we don't get there, because the Lord has mysterious ways of doing things, but who knows? Who knows? Okay? Either way, this place is out of here, and it's not going to take long, because we're already in February. It's a lot, but March. We're already in March. Okay? We're already in March. Already. So continuing, it says, the masses, otherwise known as the Goyim, never dreamed May 1st, 1776 was an epoch-making day in the history of the Luciferian conspiracy, which we refer to as the world history of the the World Revolutionary Movement. It was a day the Illuminati stabbed Britain in the back as part of their program to ultimately destroy the British Empire together with all other remaining governments and religions. And that's what Esau does. If you pay attention to how all these other kingdoms, so-called, rose and fell, right? They always come into power with a jolt, with power, like some form of new spirit, like they rise up to it. And then when they fall, they are left in shambles and ruins. And when you look at the pattern, it's always after these, it's always after when Esau comes into your system and props you up. And then when he leaves, you're in so much, it's like shambles in disbelief to the point you never come back up again. You see, you never come back up again, or you're never the same again, because when they break you, they come in and they make you, they take away all that you have, all the power you have, because they made you. They made you great. They give you the funding and so on and so forth. So they make your country great. But in return, right, they own your system because they have the money, right? Mayor El-Shabara said, give me control of a nation's money and I care who not make I care not who makes the laws. Right? So whenever Esau and them infiltrate your system, understand that it's about to be a wrap for you. And that's what's happening here in Babylon the Great. Right? And it's going to be left in shambles, but this time it's not going to be recognizable. Okay? When the Lord is done with this place, the fire is over with. Okay? It's over with. What's that? Revelation 18. All right? The smoke of her torment going up into the heavens, man. Right? And those standing afar off, all right, saying, alas, alas, that great city, you know, in 1 hour has her end come, right? She played a deadly game and it cost her everything. All right. So this whole so-called Luciferian, whatever, that's how it ends. It ends in flames. Okay. It ends in flames. This New World Order, World Economic Forum, all this, it ends in flames, period. All right. So they stabbed the British Empire in the back. They took the power away and then transferred it over here to what? To America. Okay. And they come into America and then they do what they got to do. And then boom, when they're done, they set up something else. But this time they want to go digital. So there's no need for America's influence anymore. They used her for what they had to use her for, to cause wars, to win wars, to start different things, to set in policies that govern the world, and so on and so forth. See, that's why America is always in the middle of shit. She's the main character in this movie here. The end of the game. She's one of the main characters. In this case, when you talk about main character, we're looking at all the nations, all right, on the earth. She's the number one nation. America, Babylon the Great, that the whore that sitteth on many waters. All right, so all the end time descriptions, this place meets it. This place fulfills that. Right? It's very easy to really understand this thing, man, because it's there. The evidence is there. You just got to go into the scriptures and match it up. That's all. You know? So continue, it says, May Day had been celebrated by the Roman Catholic Church for centuries as the feast day of the mother of, they call him Jesus Christ. Right? It was for this reason that Weishaupt, a renegade Jesuit, picked it to announce to his fellow Satanists and Luciferians his revised plan to destroy Christianity and bring about the Nietzsche afterwards, referred to as, bring about what Nietzsche referred to afterwards as the death of God. And that's in quotes. Okay? The death of God. Well, the Heavenly Father don't play that. So let's read. But to get back to our story, as the Illuminati's courier rode through the town of Ratisbon on his way to Paris to deliver Mirabeau his copy of Weishaupt's revised plans, the courier was killed by a stroke of lightning. In the last video I did, I went into people who mocked the Lord, and they got cooked, smoked up out of there soon after. And it was evident that, see, what you did or what you said, that's what caused this to happen, because the Lord got you directly. He let it be known. This is the man of war. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is a man of war. And a man of war means he likes to fight. Like, he's a valiant man. He likes to fight. You ain't about to pull up no fight on him because he knows all the tactics. He's a man of war. And he's the Most High. So when you talk about war tactics, ain't no power like him. See, hey, the Apostle Paul was going into guerrilla warfare. I was watching that video, right? And different tactics that Jake was using back then. And in terms of fighting, how the tribes know how to fight, because we get that from our Heavenly Father. He a Jake. You know? So yeah, we are the salt of the earth. We got that power. The Lord gave us that power. Look at Jacob. Did he not wrestle an angel? Right? How many Edomites you know who even try to play some shit like that? You wrote wrestler angel. Look at Samson. That kind of strength don't come through. No, you got how you go. Imagine that Samson, a Jewish looking Samson, bro. Bruh, that's just disturbing. That's diabolical. Them niggas don't. They're not built like that. The description of Samson, I think of Samson like the way they described him. You know, the strength. You know, I'm not going to imagine somebody like what's this guy, Ronnie Coleman. You know what I'm saying? Because he not eating weights. He was just powerful. Like through the spirit, he was just powerful. You know, he was built. You know, that's why the Lord used him. You know, he was built. He was strong. But it was the spirit of the Lord that carried him to have that kind of supernatural strength. So he didn't necessarily have to look like Ronnie Coleman, you know, but he was a built man because he was a worker, you know, and back then as a physical worker, you will be naturally built, you know, you have definition to you. It's part of Jake's nature, you know, so you don't even got to do much. You're just going to have that built to you, you know, and he was a special man appointed to do what he had to do. You know, so that's why the Lord gave him that power, right? But you don't envision no so-called Jewish person being Samson, or it's like that's mad offensive, you know, you know. So they're definitely not the people. It's just. I envision more of a Jake today, Ronnie Coleman, you know, brolic ass dude. You didn't think of a powerful man. You didn't think of no Jay, you know. So they never fit that build. You know, they never fit that build, man. But anyway, let's go back. Slack it for the rank. So going back to the reading, it says, so this guy who's being sent was struck by lightning, right? This event occurred in 1784. The police turned the documents found on the body over to Bavarian government authorities. Examination revealed them to be the protocols of the order and sect of the Illuminati. The word protocol means a copy of the original draft of a plan to achieve a definite purpose and reach a clearly defined goal. I'm gonna leave it off there. And tying it all in, all right, those Luciferian plans and agendas we're seeing playing out in today's data in real time. Right, we're seeing all of them playing out. I mean, the past 4 years, you've seen this whole DEI shit. You've seen the push for little children being indoctrinated through overly sexualized content that's not good for their brain. All right, not good for their their growth process. Right, it's just not right. You know, Esau's pushing that. You know, we've seen the over sexualization of women. You know, we've seen the extremely effeminate behavior of men, soft behavior. You know, we've seen the rebellion. All right, spiritual rebellion of our people and people around the world. Okay, the open, you know, speaking openly against the Heavenly Father. Jake doing that shit a lot lately. You know, coming against the men of the Lord. You know, but we're seeing all these things, man. Everything that you're seeing right now is all playing out by way of their so-called plans. It's all playing out. So you could tell it's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's an agenda. Okay, it's an agenda, and it's playing out in our faces, and we're exposing it for what it is. Now, I believe through the Spirit that they brewing something very heavy. All right, within this next month into the next, this month into the next, I should say. This whole so-called BF thing that they got going on, that's also part of their plans. Okay, and they're hitting eggs. That's causing a crisis. So at least that's bringing the alarm, right? It's bringing the attention to it. They had to find a way to bring people's attention to it. So now that they've gotten your attention with the food being affected, they're going to step it up a notch. Your health is now going to be affected. And these two things are a perfect way for them to bring in the next wave of technological advancements that people will have to succumb to. And that's going to be the MOTB. Okay? They're working on things right now as we speak. And the next crisis is going to shift us into that gear. Lord willing, we'll see it all. All right. But yeah, I just want to bring that out real quick. Let's close it out with this. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And start off at Verse 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? So I'm highlighting the son of perdition, the man of sin being revealed, which is Esau, Edom. All right, their plans being revealed, who they are is being revealed by way of the holy prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, starting from my elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Okay, very simple. Right, it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. And we read that earlier in Isaiah 14. Okay, he's going to exalt his throne. He's going to be like the Most High. Right. It says, verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. So back then, all the truth was being suppressed. Everything was being withheld so they can proceed. So now they've reached the point where they're almost there. The Lord says, now I'm going to expose you and I'm going to bring you down to show you my power. It says, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. The time is now. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Right? So the Lord is the one who allowed them to do all these things. And then he exposed them. We just read it. Right? When it was time, they got exposed. And then they had to rebrand. And they come back. They rebrand. They come back. Now here we are. Okay? Now here we are. And it's leading all to the MOTB. Okay? It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed. There you go. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, by way of who? The prophets are the spirit of his mouth. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's those fake ass technological miracles. All right, that's the power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, the fake ass miracles that they're going to be performing, or they are performing, via their AI technology, which they're worshiping as a god because of its technological prowess, intelligence, and so on and so forth. It's called artificial intelligence. You know, and they're looking at it as a god. A God that they created. Funny. This is in that it says, and with all deceivableness, 2 Thessalonians 2:10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that's the 2/3, right? Mainly focusing on them, because they received not the truth. It was preached unto them. And what did they do? They did video scoffing, asking stupid ass, dumb ass questions, just trying to challenge, all right, the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Complete rebellion, right? And they're going to pay for that. They will pay for that. Okay? It says, verse 11, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Now, when you go to that word delusion, right? You see what it says. Strong delusion. Okay? Delusion, it says here, a wandering, a straying about, one led astray from the right way, roams hither and thither. You see that a lot of them niggas on the comment board. You know, he subscribed to this page and he's subscribed to that page. He's being thrown to and fro, you know, in the with the wind. You know, he's not stable. He's not rooted. You know, a guy like that, you know, when the shit goes down, he's going to be all over the place, confused. Oh, but you said that MOTB is this, but they saying that it's just sin in all its various ways, both political and religious. Oh, what do I do? I'm conflicted. Right? Mental straying, error, wrong opinion relative to morals or religion. Damn. That's why they're so off. Error which shows itself in action. Right? A wrong mode of acting. That's these people. They're corrupt. They got to get wiped out. It says error, that which leads into error, deceit or fraud, right? Delusion. Okay. And I think, let me look it up in the delusions, right? It says act of misleading someone, deception, deceit. So damn, the Most High put a spirit of you being deceived on you. You know, he put a strong one on you that you can't get this truth. It all makes sense, right? Right, it says a false impression or belief of a fixed nature. All right, check this out. It says as a form of mental derangement. These people are deluded. They're deranged. You know, they suffer from mental derangement. That's why they can't deal with this truth. Hey, that's why the apostle says, call the cops. You can't deal with somebody who is mentally deranged and think you're going to be all right. No, call the cops. Vocab is number 1 on that list. Mentally deranged, right? The Lord put a strong delusion on them that they should believe a lie, right? It says that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness, right? So the Lord used Esau on the left-hand side to come up with this deceptive lie to get you to take that MOTB, right? Which started back in 1776. We're approaching 2026, 250 years, okay, of this conspiracy just going on and on, right? But then the Lord also says that he's going to send his prophets out there to warn you of what's coming, and you're still not going to listen, so he's justified when he destroys you, okay? So all the evidence is there. We're doing our part. All right. And when the Lord turns up, oh man, we're not going to be here to talk much. Let me just put it that way. All right. So anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you're edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. And until next time, Shalom.
I enumerated 24 different technologies. And at the end, it is a fusion of the material or physical, biological, and digital world. What we are seeing now in new technological breakthroughs, I just had also the pleasure to see the Center for Neuroscience here. I think at the end, we will see a combination, a power which is based on a combination of those 3 dimensions: physical, biological, and digital.